Hi there guys, Jeremy McIntyre from Australian National Review NR.news. A lot of people are asking me my views on crypto and my views on, should I be relocating some of my assets or money out of Western banks, or even possibly relocating myself out of Australia and America and Europe, etc. And how much time do we have? Look, everything's moving rapidly. In 2026 is going to be one hell of a ride. You kind of got the feeling how much is happening already in 2025. But as we know, things that we do know that are obvious, it's just a matter of timing. The US can't fund its debt of $37 trillion. It's going to implode at some point in the future unless they can re-engineer a great reset. So every time the fraud of the financial system's found out, like the Fed printing, the Federal Reserve, as you know, which I wrote about in my book, What I Didn't Learn at School, but which I had 25 years ago, about it being a fraud. Basically, the Federal Reserve is not federal or has no reserves. The Rothschild central banking system, which has brought up the Western world, and that's why they founded Israel, a fake banking cartel state in 1948, and then lied to the world that God chose them to represent people here on earth, and somehow they stole the Israel name to make Christians think it's biblical, so they could suck dry the American empire like a parasite, because they'd finished sucking dry the British Empire at the end of World War II. So that's how the world works, and they created in 1913 the Federal Reserve and started printing fake money, funny money, and then they'd loan that to the US government. And what caused US governments and other governments around the world to have to borrow so much of this funny money was war. So obviously they built and funded the Western military complex, which enabled them to generate war after war after war. It's also very profitable, but it's also a way to steal assets, and Israel's very good at creating armies, proxy armies, like they found at ISIS, Hamas, Al-Qaeda, and they send them into nation states they wish to steal and take over to destabilize the local government, like they did last year to Assad, been doing for years, Assad and Iraq, of course, before that, Afghanistan, Libya, and trying to do the Yemen and many other countries. But what they did to Syria was they sent ISIS in, they fund and arm them to fight against the local government, the Assad government. They call the local government an evil dictator. Sometimes they are, but just call them that regardless. Usually an evil dictator means you refuse to bend over and let yourself to be raped and pillaged by the Rothschild central banking system, which is printing fake money, which then they impose income taxes, another Rothschild's invention. Why do they create income taxes? Because they want real money paid back on the fake money loaned to your government. So that's why income tax was created, and that's why in Australia you're a slave to income taxes on this funny money. Anyhow, so that's what they've been doing, but that scam's been caught out, and that's why the rise of the BRICS, who want a multipolar world, national sovereignty and trade, not war, and credit to China for being a good world leader in this case. That's why they are getting the support of most of the world, and America is losing support because America is controlled by Israel, and pretty much everyone hates Israel for, maybe because they drop bombs on children and try and deny it, or because they've been responsible, the founders of Israel, for pretty much every Holocaust on the planet, except one, fabricated one that we must believe in. So the point being is your money, it's rapidly coming to an end. The printing of fake money, they can't do anymore because the rest of the world's going, we're not going to buy US dollars anymore. We're creating a BRICS currency, or in the interim, we're going to trade in our own currencies. And that's why the rise of the BRICS, and that's why World War III is coming, because they need to, wars are over whoever issues the money. Whoever issues the money owns the world or can control the world. These fake Jewish imposters from Khazaria, Eastern Ukraine, which claim to be God's chosen ones, have been printing this money, but they can't print it anymore because the game's up. So what they're trying to do is now hijack the crypto, which was meant to be a financial revolution, just like they hijacked the MAGA movement and infiltrated Trump administration, which was meant to be a political revolution of America first, but we didn't get that because they hijacked it and stole that, and then obviously have Trump leveraged, or whatever you want to believe there, or controlled to a certain degree. So in crypto, I was one of the biggest advocates. I held the first Bitcoin global conference in Melbourne, 2014. I introduced Bitcoin ATMs to Australia. I was told my investor clients have made, my investor clients have made over $10 billion in the last 25 years, and a lot of it from crypto, most from real estate. But because I told them to buy Bitcoin at 2013, 14 at $75 US. I'm not saying to impress you, but impress upon you is that I've been an advocate of crypto, but I'm not saying, I'm against crypto. I'm just saying it's being hijacked, and they can't print fake money anymore because no one wants it. So they're now minting fake USDT. USDT is meant to be backed dollar for dollar with US treasuries, which even if that is backed by fake money, but they haven't been. They've been minting billions and billions of dollars of fake, the control of the USDT, Tether. So they won't allow an audit because it wouldn't pass an audit, just like your banks wouldn't pass an audit if you went to the bank and everyone wanted their money out. The money's not there. That's why they're banning cash to cover up bank runs, because we can't find the financial scams being exposed. So if you can't use cash, you can't go and demand all your money out of the bank. And that's why very soon in Australia and the West, Reserve Bank Australia is one of the leaders in this programmable, expirable central bank digital currency that's coming. So they're going to close banks when they collapse, rather than collapse. Say, look, we're just going to stop bank withdrawals for a couple of days, and you're going to be issued a central bank digital currency or some format of that. Then they cover it up, so now you've got a shit coin that's worth nothing, but to control you. And if you say something wrong on Facebook, or like something like this, it exposes the system. You'll be debanked. That's probably why I'm already debanked in Australia, but who cares? I've told people relocate some of your money or your assets out of Australia and the West for some time now. The smart money's already left. If you haven't got some money outside of Western bank accounts, how long do you have? Maybe less than 12 months. If you haven't got assets outside of Australia or the West, how long do you have? Probably less than 24 months, maybe less than 12 months. You're running out of time, folks. So how much more writing, warnings on the wall do you need? The system's going to implode. They're going to reset it. And if you do not get some of your money out and you're stuck in the West, you're going to lose your freedoms there. Where should you go? Well, the alternative is this. You can support a one world dystopian government by the left or right Zionists. On the right is Netanyahu, to be run out of Jerusalem. On the left, they probably want to run out of Israel too. That's Ukraine, but they're losing against Russia, so they're not going to be able to get the Israel too. So if you want to support a one world government that locks you down, treats you like goyim and enslaves you, by all means support Israel. Left or right, so you support left or right in Western politics, you're supporting either one world government dystopian agenda, or your other choice is to join the BRICS. If your country won't join the BRICS, you can actually leave and go join the BRICS. I did. I left Australia because I went to Indonesia. Indonesia's part of the BRICS. Indonesia's booming. Australia's not. Australia's dying. Australia's taxed to death. Indonesia is becoming a very wealthy nation. The chance to do well financially is much better. So if you're in a BRICS type nation, you'll generally do